Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Kirk Mauriello. And I'm so happy that you are here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Wow, and I would love to introduce you to the audience. Of course, you are the CEO and founder of Profit Cookers, a virtual restaurant company that helps independent restaurant owners boost their delivery profits. With 15 years in the restaurant industry, including leadership roles at Aurelio's, you have to help me with the name Aurelio's Pizza and
Aurelio
Honey.
Pizza, yes.
Aurelio's Pizza and Honey Jam Cafe. Kirk launched Profit Cookers in 2021. The company has since partnered with over 100 restaurants across 20 states, offering a turnkey solution that guarantees a 30% profit increase. Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Kirk Mauriello.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, my first question to you. What inspired you to start Profit Cookers and how does it address the challenges faced by independent restaurant owners?
Well, throughout the COVID pandemic, restaurants saw a lot of business loss due to different economic conditions, uh, different government regulations, things like that. But it also opened up an opportunity for people and consumers to order directly online and from these restaurants. But many of the restaurants didn't have a presence online. So when we built Profit Cookers, it was to help these restaurants build a presence through simple brands with simple food made by them in their kitchens to help utilize more of their assets that they're already paying for, such as rent and kitchen space and staffing. And they had all the ingredients ready, and Profit Cookers helped them put together a better way of reaching the consumers with the different food that they can make out of their restaurants.
Wow, so you helped them to survive during COVID?
We helped to survive during COVID, that is for sure. And very interestingly enough, is that business even became bigger after COVID, as people went back to their busy lives, but they had already learned how to use these convenient apps like DoorDash, Uber, and Grubhub to order food directly from different brands. And we increased that flow of business to those restaurants. So the restaurant business model has changed dramatically from a profitability standpoint because delivery can be 30-40% of your business potentially for a regular restaurant. And by adding virtual brands, you're taking advantage of that marketplace that is ordering online and bringing different culinary options to those consumers outside of what your brand might do in your restaurant.
Yes, that's true. And that's very innovative as well and creative to find this need and then to fill it, right?
Yes, absolutely. And restaurant owners, they were apprehensive at first, and then when they saw how many people order online, it started to become more of the norm. And a lot of owners are open to trying some different things to increase their profitability of their restaurants and become better businesses overall.
Yes, and we all need food, right? So it's
Yes.
important to strengthen this, of course. Thank you so much. My next question is, how does Profit Cookers virtual kitchen technology help restaurants increase their profits, and what sets it apart from other solutions?
Well, the first thing we do is it's the way we brand. So we have a specific way that we build different types of brands specific to the type of food. So, for instance, if you were looking for a BLT sandwich, we have a brand called Badass BLTs, and people see that. We also utilize certain type of brand names for algorithms in search functions on the apps. So when someone searches, just like they would search on Amazon, it's the same type of thing how they search on Uber, DoorDash, or Grubhub delivery apps. They search for a name of a food or a brand, and it'll pull up the brands that have that type of food available for them. And there's more and more search functionality that's being used because there's so many different restaurants and items on the apps today than there were 5 years ago, right? So it's a little more cumbersome to find what you might be looking for.
Mhm.
The technology we use for the restaurants make it easy. It's a single tablet technology. So instead of having a DoorDash, Uber, and Grubhub tablet in your restaurant, you have one tablet, and we have a printer that prints to your kitchen so that the orders come directly through any of the apps and any of the brands into one place for the restaurant, which makes it easy to manage.
Wow, I see. You facilitate. This is easy, and you simplify as well for the people.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's basically a turnkey system. So the whole idea behind profit cookers was not only to help restaurants build their profits by bringing them more orders, but also understanding the profitability model in that they have to make money on every order. So we have a pricing algorithm and a technology algorithm that understands how to drive that profitability on every order for the restaurants. They also have the opportunity to not have to worry about doing anything except make the food. So we consider our restaurant partners fulfillment partners. They fulfill the order. And what do restaurants do best? They make food the best. That's the best function they do as a restaurant. Marketing and outside things like technology are not their forte. So by us coming in and making it turnkey and easy for them, the restaurants really see the benefit to having profit cookers and being a fulfillment partner for us.
Wow, I love that. So everyone can focus on their main skills, or yeah, I see this, their strength as well, and they can relax as well concerning the marketing and the orders as well.
Yeah, when you think about how a restaurant operates, they're so operational internally to the consumer, to the customer that walks in the door, and this which created challenges for them when it came to doing online business, especially with the technology piece. You don't have people that work in the restaurant that are technology professionals. So by us bringing that piece to them and tying the technology with the food ordering, it really helped them do a better job and, like I said, concentrate on their core capabilities, right, which is making food.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I learned something. And what key lessons from your experience at Aurelio's Pizza and Honey Jam Cafe have you applied to leading profit cookers? Now you are gone. I think it's your connection. So your connection is gone. Maybe he's coming back soon, and then we can ask the next question again. Do you hear me? There you are. You are back. You were gone. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? No? Oh, he's gone. Podcasting is an adventure. I tell you something. Now it's time for the AdWords. So please, people, reach out to Kirk. He's amazing. He has profit cookers and he helps you. There you are.
I am so sorry. I don't know what happened there.
No
All of a sudden,
problem.
yeah.
Okay, I will ask again. My last question was, what key lessons from your experience at Aurelio's Pizza and Honey Jam Cafe have you applied to leading profit cookers?
Well, yeah, between the two different companies, we learned a few things. As a franchise company, Aurelio's, I learned how franchises work. And we decided when we built profit cookers to not make it a franchise model. we decided to make it a licensing model, which gave a lot of autonomy to the restaurants instead of enforcing strict guidelines. Also, we pay the restaurants, so the restaurants don't have to worry about paying us. We pay them to perform the function of making the food, and we pay them a healthy profit in that process. When it came to Honey Jam Cafe, learned a lot about the breakfast business, and breakfast is a big part of a lot of the brands that we have, as opposed to just being like some of the other companies out there that do like chicken wings and burgers and pizza and things like that. We chose a different route, and it was very successful for us in doing that. So it brought a lot of different things, and in managing people, understanding how things work, but more importantly, understanding how a restaurant operates. And what's important for the restaurant may not be what's important for the virtual brand. And you have to build that virtual brand to fit within the operations of the restaurant. We're an add-on, we're a bolt-on to their business. Their key business and their core business is their brand and their brick and mortar restaurant. We don't want to interfere with that operational part of the business. We want to be an add-on that brings additional business. So understanding how that operation works and understand that every restaurant is somewhat different. You couldn't use a franchise model. You had to use a licensing model and be more open to different ideas that these current restaurants already had.
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much. Oh, we learned so much. And can you share a success story from one of your restaurant partners that highlights the impact of Profit Cookers services?
Yes. So we had a restaurant called in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And one of the things was not only did we bring them a tremendous amount of business, but we also were able to do something that people didn't realize. And, you get some things that sometimes work out for you and sometimes that don't work out so great. But this is worked out for you. So all those drivers that would come in and pick up food to deliver from that restaurant ended up helping build the core business of that restaurant internally. So when you have 200 drivers that show up at your restaurant every day to pick up every week to pick up food, then they also see how your operations is. They see your restaurant. They're coming to your restaurant regularly, and they become customers if you treat them well. So all of a sudden, the business internally for that restaurant, for their brand, increased dramatically of foot traffic, because we have to remember all those drivers, they're part of the gig economy. And where do they live? Within the community. So now you have all these people coming in talking great about your business, what you're doing there, what your food is like, because you've given them a sample, or you've let them use the restrooms, or you've given them a drink, you've been nice to them. And next thing you know, they're spreading the word about your restaurant. And we saw a dramatic increase in that store's sales, almost doubled internally for their brand alone, after we came on and became part of their operational process.
Oh, I see. It was unseen in the beginning and then like a byproduct, and then you used it successfully to serve the drivers, the people coming in, having their breakfast and spreading the good word inside the community to others. Yes, to help
Yes,
market the place.
it was something we never even thought of. And then the restaurant started telling me this is what happens. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty incredible. But it makes perfect sense, right?
Yes.
These people all live in the community. They all have families. They have friends. They have everything. And they may not have even been to that restaurant before, because every restaurant thinks that everybody knows where they are. But the reality is most of the community has no idea where they are. It takes a long time to get known.
Yes, I think so. And this advice is for everyone starting their business to not think everyone knows you. No, you have to become visible, and it's your work to do this as well. Thank you for sharing. I have another question about your goals. Do you set goals for yourself or intentions? And what is one of your next goals?
Yes. So as profit cookers, our next goal is to get restaurants in all 50 states across the country. We're in 25 right now. And then quadruple our sales over the next 12 months by adding on some sales reps to help us reach more restaurants. The technology is working beautifully. It keeps improving, as you can imagine, as technology always does. and that's where we're headed. And maybe we'll take the company public at some point, but right now we're going to keep it private and keep working for getting as many independent restaurant owners on board with us to help out every independent restaurant owner and their families and the communities and the people that work for them, and keep them on the competitive edge that they need to have in the marketplace.
Wow, I see what you mean. Thank you so much. Please reach out to Kirk. He's amazing. He knows what he's doing and he has information and knowledge that not many people have. And it will propel your business, of course, forward. And yeah, where can we find you?
Our website is profitcookers.com. And you can reach us through there. I would also say that, just so the restaurants know, there is no cost to become a restaurant partner with us. Uh, no upfront cost at all. We make all of our money on the sales of orders. So unless there's a sale, there's no cost to the restaurant. And we make sure that we pay those restaurants on a weekly basis so that they're receiving their funds as quickly as possible.
Wow, I love that. So please reach out, connect, or reach out to me. I will do the introduction to you, of course. And now is the time for your last thought to the audience, please.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Your last thoughts, your last
My
message to
last
the
thoughts are:
audience.
if you are a restaurant or know a restaurant owner, this is a new way of doing business. It's a business model that is growing across the country. If you are not a restaurant involved with a virtual brand, you probably should be. It'll definitely bring more profitability to your restaurant, more ease of reaching consumers, and it's a very simple process when you choose the right virtual brands for your operations.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm impressed. I'm happy that we are connected now, and I wish many, many restaurant owners, you said independent restaurants, will follow you, will do business with you and collaborate. Thank you so much for our interview, Kirk,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
and see you in the next episode.